Prime Shaquille O'Neal was one of the most dominant players in NBA history, racking up championship after championship. So I have decided to place Prime Shaq on today's LA Lakers alongside LeBron James and Luka Doncic to see if they can win a title. And we will be starting off in the beginning of the 25-26 season, and as of right now, here is our starting lineup. We have ourselves Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, LeBron James, and Shaquille O'Neal. I am going to look to upgrade that small forward position before we start simulating, so let me see which trades we can pull off. And we have ourselves an insane trade package here from the New York Knicks that will land us Mikal Bridges as the brand new starting small forward. All we gotta do is give up DeAndre Ayton and Rui Hachimura. In return, we bring in Mikal Bridges. We've all heard the comments Ayton has been making, Clint Capella comments, so it's only right to get rid of him off of this team. Let's go ahead and pull off this trade. If we change Mikal Bridges' position from shooting guard to small forward, he goes up to an 86 overall. Now, this is a brand new rotation, so in our starting lineup, we have ourselves Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Mikal Bridges, LeBron James, and Shaquille O'Neal. And off the bench, we have Marcus Smart, Jake LaRavia, Luke Kennard, and Jackson Hayes. And the bench unit could use some upgrading, but as of right now, we will leave things as they are. Now let's go ahead and simulate through the first week of this season and see how our team does. And it looks like we go on to win 2 out of the 3 games. We scored 132 points here against the Timberwolves, and Shaq went off for 34 points, 16 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. LeBron had 27, Luka with 24. He scored 111 here against the Kings, and in this game, Luka led the way here with 23. Shaq had himself 23 rebounds and 20 points. If you're enjoying this video so far, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and also subscribe if you're new. That really does support on my channel and video a ton, so please make sure you hit that subscribe button. We will be rolling with a 4-star overall system proficiency balanced under JJ Redick. And as you guys can see here, this is our defense. Other than Shaquille O'Neal and Mikal Bridges, in our starting lineup, we don't really have good defenders. So the shooting guard position is something we could possibly upgrade going into the future, but as of right now, I would like to see how this team does. So now, we will be start simulating here until the end of this season, but if there's any trades to be made, I'll stop here at the trade deadline to show you all. I stopped here even before the trade deadline, and that's because Marcus Smart has got to go. His shooting splits have been horrible. Bro is shooting 29% from the 3-point line, 37% from the field goal. So we're going to be trading away Marcus Smart and Jared Vanderbilt to the Indiana Pacers for Aaron Nesmith. We also get ourselves Ben Shepherd. I will also be trying to upgrade our shooting guard position. Austin Reeves is an amazing player and I don't want to get rid of him, so we will be pushing him to the 6-man role, and in return we bring in a good 3-and-D player in Devin Vassell. He's a good defender, he can shoot the 3-ball, and could be our perfect starting shooting guard while we also keep ourselves Austin Reeves. I'm going to be offering the San Antonio Spurs Luke Kennard, Maxi Kleber, and a 1st-round pick for Vassell, and that gets the trade done. Now we could start ourselves Devin Vassell at that shooting guard position while having Austin Reeves be our 6-man. Reeves will still be getting starter minutes. We are playing him 32 minutes per game, but this helps out our defense a little bit more. It looks like our team has made it to the NBA Cup Finals, and we will be taking on the Charlotte Hornets. We will have home court advantage. Let's see which team goes on to win. So far, the Hornets have the lead, but we take it back, go to overtime, and end up winning by 1 point. Shaquille O'Neal dropped 32 points, 16 rebounds, 23 from Reeves, 17 from Luka, and 16 from Vassell. And Shaq goes on to win NBA Cup MVP, averaging 27 points per game, 18 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks, while shooting 62% from the field. We have stopped here at the trade deadline, and there is 2 trades that I would like to pull off. One is upgrading our backup center position. We're going to be acquiring ourselves Clint Capella from the Houston Rockets, where we send them Jackson Hayes and Ariel, in return bringing in Clint Capella. And now the last trade I will be attempting to pull off is upgrading our backup small forward position. Max Christie is a shooting guard, but we could change that position to small forward. He should go up in overall, plus he's shooting 51% from the 3-point line. Jake LaRavia has been turning the ball over way too much, plus he's not a good 3-point shooter. So let's see what the Mavericks say if we offer them Jake LaRavia and Ben Shepherd for Max Christie, and that gets the deal done. At the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama goes on to win an MVP, Cooper Flag Rookie of the Year, Isaiah Collier 6-Man, Wemby also wins Defensive Player, Namus Quetta Most Improved, Cade Cunningham Clutch, Chris Finch Coach of the Year, and we go on to win Executive of the Year. We do get ourselves Shaq on All NBA First Team, and we also get Luka Doncic on All NBA Second Team. Let's go. Looks like Shaq will make it on All Defensive First Team as well. He was in the award races doing MVP and Defensive Player of the Year, but sadly Wemby did outdo him this time. But hopefully next time around he's able to win an MVP and maybe even Defensive Player of the Year. We ended this season being the number 2 seed, winning a total of 60 games and losing 22, so it looks like the Minnesota Timberwolves were a few games ahead of us, but that is alright. Let's take a look at the player stats for the regular season. So our leading scorer was none other than Shaquille O'Neal, averaging 27 points per game, 15 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and 3 blocks, while shooting 63% from the field. Shaq had himself a phenomenal season, and then Luka Doncic was averaging 25, 8, and 10, almost a triple-double, 19 from LeBron, 16 from Austin Reeves as our 6-man, 13 from Bridges, and 12 from Devin Vassell. And now let's take a look at which team we're going to be taking on here in the playoffs, and it will be the Houston Rockets. They have themselves Amin Thompson, Tari Eason, Kevin Durant, Jabari Smith Jr., and Alperen Şengün. Let's see if we can go on to defeat the Houston Rockets here in round 1. Game number 1 will go to us. Reeves leads the way here as our 6-man, dropping 30 points, 26 from LeBron, 20 points and 19 rebounds from Shaq, and an 18-point triple-double from Luka. Game number 2 will also go to us. Shaq leads the way here with 39 points and 20 rebounds, 28-point double-double from Luka. Game 3 will go to the Rockets. Game 4 will also go to the Rockets. Okay, so this is where I will be coming up with a defensive coach game plan. So far, Shaq is averaging 23 points per game. I would like for him to take more shots than he has been taking. I have come up with a defensive coach game plan, but I cannot lie, Alperen Şengün has been cooking Shaq here. Bro is averaging 30 points per game while shooting 63% from the field. I had thought Shaq would definitely be locking down Alperen Şengün, but so far, sadly that has not been the case. But hopefully this defensive coach game plan will help us win the next few games. Let's jump into Simcast here and see what happens. We will have home court advantage on our side. And so far we do have the lead by quite a bit, and we end up winning this game 161 to 132, and Shaq went off here with a 37-point double-double. Luka with a 32-point double-double, Christie with 22, LeBron with 22 as well. But Şengün still played amazing. He's somebody that we definitely need to slow down here in this series. The Rockets will have home court advantage for this next game, and so far we start off amazing in the first half. They are starting to push back a little bit here, but it looks like we will be winning 134 to 125. Luka dropping 40, Shaq with 28 and 13, as well as 5 assists, 3 steals, and 4 blocks. Now in the second round of the playoffs, we will be taking on the San Antonio Spurs, and they have themselves De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Johnson, Champagnie, Victor Wembanyama, and Dylan Harper coming off of their bench. We did take Devin Vassell from them. Let's see which team will get the better. Game 1 does go to us. Luka with a 31-point triple-double, Austin Reeves with 29 as our 6-man. Shaq only had 19 points, but he still played amazing all around. Game number 2 will end up going to the Spurs. They win here 133 to 115. Shaq with 21 and 16, but that was not enough for Wemby, who dropped 32 points and 15 rebounds. Now the series is tied at 1-1 apiece. Game number 3 will go to us. Let's go. Luka with 35-point double-double, 21 from Bridges, 20 points and 16 rebounds from Shaq. He did foul out in 29 minutes, but still an amazing game from him. And we do end up going up 3-1, winning this game 4 here, 134 to 105. Shaq with 33 points and 18 rebounds. Are we going to, gentlemen, sweep the MVP and the Spurs? And we do not. They do end up winning game 5 here. Shaq played amazing. So did Luka, but we do fall short by almost 20 points. Let's jump into Simcast here. The Spurs have home court advantage, and it looks like they will end up defeating us here 161 to 129. Okay. Shaq with 32, Luka with a 22-point double-double, but we do fall short. It is now time for Game 7. I have come up with a defensive coach game plan. Let's see if we can win this game. We will have home court advantage on our side, and so far, it's a pretty close battle, back and forth. We are up by 4 points, outscoring them here in the fourth quarter. Slow this down a little bit and see what happens. We are up, and it looks like we will be winning this game 136 to 114. Luka with 27, 10, and 12. Shaquille O'Neal dropping 25 points. It looks like we have made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals, and we will be taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have themselves DiVincenzo, Anthony Edwards, McDaniels, Julius Randle, and Naz Reid. Let's see if we can defeat the Minnesota Timberwolves and make it all the way to the NBA Finals. The Timberwolves were the number 1 seed. Game number 1 will go to the Timberwolves. 142 to 114. They almost beat us here by 30 points. Game number 2 also to the Timberwolves. They beat us here by 14 points. I believe I will come up with a defensive coach game plan. Anthony Edwards so far has been destroying us. Bro is averaging 40 points per game here in the playoffs. Okay, we are now down 2-0. Let's see what happens here in Game 3. We do end up winning Game 3 after coming up with a defensive coach game plan, 155 to 126. For some reason, all season long and in the playoffs, our defense has been pretty awful. In this game, Luka had 32 points. Where is Shaq? He had himself 29 points and 16 rebounds. And we also won the next game, and yes, we can, 123 to 121. Luka with 32 and 29 points from Shaq. Game number 5 will go to the Timberwolves, and we are pushing it to a Game 7. Let's go. We do end up winning Game 6 here, 125 to 120. Shaq had himself an 18-point double-double. Let's see if we can win here in Game 7. The first quarter, we did start off pretty strong, but they do push back. It looks like we will be eliminated here in the Western Conference Finals. Anthony Edwards goes on to win Western Conference Finals MVP, Jalen Johnson Eastern Conference Finals MVP, and the Timberwolves go on to win with Ant-Man winning Finals MVP. That truly does suck. We were not able to win a championship, but don't you worry, this offseason I'm going to be pulling off some big trades, bringing in some new talent to help Shaq win a championship next year. I do believe LeBron James will be retiring this offseason, so the power forward position is something we're going to have to upgrade. And there goes LeBron James. He will be retiring. Sadly, we were not able to win him a championship before he retires, but that is all right. We did fire JJ Redick and bring in a brand new head coach who has 100 overall head coaching, Michael Stauffer. He's not a real head coach, but that's all right because all we need him to do is help us win a championship. Austin Reeves has declined his $15 million player option, which means we're probably going to have to pay him a lot more than that here in free agency. Qualifying offers, I will give Nick Smith Jr. the qualifying offer, even though we don't really need him on this team, but we should have bird rights on Austin Reeves, and yes we do. He wants about $25 million, he currently has 13 offers, and he's most interested in the Brooklyn Nets offer. We will go ahead and offer Austin Reeves a 4-year deal, paying him about $25 million annually, and he should be most interested, and yes he is, so he will be accepting our 4-year $112 million contract. So far here in free agency, we have signed Austin Reeves. I also went ahead and signed Dean Wade and Jordan Walsh, both two-way players that could help us defensively and offensively. Since LeBron James has retired, we need someone to save us at that power forward position. Chet Holmgren could be the perfect player we need at that position. He's one of the best rim protectors in the league, and last season he was averaging a 20-point double-double. Having Chet and Shaq as our front court will be unstoppable defensively, and last season defense was a huge category we struggled in. So I'm going to be offering the OKC Thunder Austin Reeves, Clint Capella, Bronny James Jr., and Dean Wade for Chet Holmgren, and that gets the trade done. No first round picks needed to be thrown in. Let's go. And the last trade of this offseason I would like to pull off is acquiring ourselves Josh Hart. He is listed at the power forward position, but I probably will run him at the shooting guard or small forward. I'm going to be offering the New York Knicks Max Christie, Dalton Knecht, Kobe Buffkin, and Justin Champagnie, and we'll also throw them a first round pick, and that lands us Josh Hart. Let's go. And now here we are at the start of this season with a new and upgraded 9-man rotation. In our starting lineup, we have ourselves Luka Doncic, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, Chet Holmgren, and the man himself, Shaquille O'Neal. Then off the bench, we have Devin Vassell, Aaron Nesmith, Jordan Walsh, and Nick Richards. I believe this is going to be the season we go on to win a championship. We have the perfect mix of offense and defense, amazing two-way players. Some of the best two-way players are now on our team. We will be starting Josh Hart at the shooting guard position as of right now, but if he does not play well, we could always switch him out for Devin Vassell. Let's go ahead and simulate the first week of this season to see how our team does. And we do go on to win 2 out of the first 3 games, scoring 124 points against the Clippers. Luka had 34, 21 and 11 from Chet, 18 and 17 from Shaq. And so far Shaq is nearly averaging 30 points per game and 14 rebounds. We will be rolling with a 4-star overall system proficiency, pace and space under our brand new head coach Michael Stauffer. I'm now going to start simulating here until the end of this season, but if there's any trades to be made, I'll stop at the trade deadline and make sure to show you all. And once again, we have made it all the way to the NBA Cup Finals, and we're going to be taking on the Detroit Pistons. So let's see which team goes on to win. We will have home court advantage on our side. And so far, we do have the lead, and it looks like we will go on to win 124-111. Devin Vassell led the way with 23, Josh Hart with 23, Shaquille O'Neal with 23, 12, and 3. Looks like Luka goes on to win NBA Cup MVP. At the end of this season, our boy Luka Doncic goes on to win MVP, averaging 28 points per game, 7 rebounds, 10 assists, and 1.5 steals on 50, 40, 77 shooting splits. That is what I'm talking about. Darren Peterson, Rookie of the Year, RJ Barrett, 6-man, Wemby Defensive Player, Kasparis wins Most Improved, LaMelo Ball Clutch Player, Michael Stauffer, our head coach, wins Coach of the Year. We also win Executive. And this time around, we do get the MVP on All NBA First Team. Where is our boy Shaq? He does make it on All NBA Second Team. It looks like that will be it for All NBAs, but now we do get ourselves Chet Holmgren and Shaq on All Defensive First Team. Let's go. This time around, we end the season being the number 1 seed, winning a total of 73 games and losing only 9. Let's go ahead and take a look at the player stats for the regular season. So this time around, our leading scorer was Luka Doncic, averaging 28 points per game, and then Shaq was averaging 26 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 2.5 blocks, while shooting 64% from the field. Chet Holmgren was amazing, averaging 19 points per game, as well as 2 blocks and 15.5 from Devin Vassell. Now in the first round, we will be taking on the Houston Rockets once again. They still have themselves Amin Thompson, they brought in Colin Sexton, Kevin Durant, Jabari Smith, and Alperen Şengün. They were a play-in team, so hopefully they're not too hard here to defeat in the first round. Game number 1 will go to us. Bridges leading the way with 26 points, a 23-point double-double from Shaquille O'Neal. Game number 2 will also go to us, as does game 3, and we do not sweep the Rockets, but can we gentlemen sweep them? And yes, we can. So far, Luka is averaging a 24-point double-double, and Shaq is averaging a 25-point double-double. And now in the second round, we are taking on Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs. They still have themselves De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle. They do have Carter Bryant as their starting small forward. They may have brought in Jonathan Kuminga by a trade by the looks of things, and of course Victor Wembanyama at the starting center position. This is their bench unit. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1 will go to us. Shaq dropping 28 points and 14 rebounds. Game number 2 also goes to us. Shaq goes off here for 38 points on Wemby. 30-point double-double from Luka. Game 3 we also end up winning, and we do not sweep the Spurs. But once again, we end this round off with a gentleman's sweep. And now in the second round, we will be taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Let's see how Shaq has been doing. He's averaging a 26-point double-double. Chet has been playing here amazing in the playoffs, and Luka as well. Let's take a look at the Timberwolves roster. So they still have the same lineup. Dante DiVincenzo, Anthony Edwards, McDaniels, Julius Randle, and Rudy Gobert. Same team that eliminated us last year in the conference finals. Hopefully this time it goes our way. Game number 1 will go to us. Shaq with 25 and 10. Luka with a 23-point triple-double. Game 2 we also end up winning, 33 from Luka, 23 and 10 from Shaq. Let's go. Game 3 we end up winning as well. Luka goes off for a 24-point triple-double, Shaq with 20, 11, and 3, as well as 2 blocks. And we go on to sweep the Minnesota Timberwolves. Let's go, winning game 4, 109-106, where Shaq dropped 27 points and 18 rebounds. It looks like we're either going to have to take on the Cleveland Cavaliers or the Boston Celtics, and it will be the Celtics. So Luka Doncic goes on to win Western Conference Finals MVP, averaging 23, 9, and 11. Then we have Jason Tatum winning Eastern Conference Finals MVP for the Boston Celtics, averaging 35 points per game. And that means we will be taking on the Celtics here in the NBA Finals. They have themselves Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Quetta. The Lakers versus the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals rivalry continues. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1 will go to us, and Shaq drops 45 points and 10 rebounds. Luka with 29, Bridges with 25. Game number 2 will also go to us. Shaq is going off, now dropping a 33-point double-double. Game 3 does end up going to the Celtics, sadly. They win here 129 to 120. Shaq played amazing, but our defense was pretty horrible. Game number 4 will also go to the Celtics, 143 to 136. Luka with 31, Shaq with 23, and 29 from Chet. I have now come up with a defensive coach game plan. The series is tied at 2-2 apiece. Let's jump into Simcast and see what happens. We will have home court advantage on our side. We do start off the first quarter pretty strong, and it looks like we will be winning this game 136 to 106. Shaq dropped 28 and 11, 27 from Luka, 23 and 13 from Chet. Now all we gotta do is win one more game, and then we'll have won ourselves a championship. The Celtics will have home court advantage. So far, it's a pretty close back and forth battle. We are up by 4 going into the fourth quarter. 12 minutes remaining, still pretty close. Let's slow this down a little bit and see what happens. 5 minutes remaining, 4 minutes remaining, and we're up by 5 points. I will be jumping into this game. From the looks of things, it is pretty close. We are kind of starting to run away with it. We're up by 10 points, 133 remaining. Let's go ahead and jump in and see Shaq play. Alrighty, I have subbed in our starters, and it looks like Shaquille O'Neal is at the free throw line. Let's see if he can hit this. Luka Doncic was on the bench, but I have subbed him in, so he should be coming in any second now. And Shaq goes on to make his free throw. Let's go. There's Luka Doncic being checked into the game. Can Shaq also make a second free throw? That would be pretty impressive if he can. And he does go on to miss his second free throw, but that is alright. Peyton Pritchard with the ball. Let's see what the Celtics do. Wide open Jason Tatum. That was horrible defense on our side. Jason Tatum with a wide open slam dunk. Luka to Bridges. We could get the ball to Shaq. He's wide open in the paint, and there he is with a layup. That would have been nice if he went up for a slam dunk, but we do see Shaq score some points here. 1:14 remaining. Jaylen Brown with the ball. We are up by 11 points. Wide open Peyton Pritchard, and he hits the three-pointer. Holy cow. 146 to 138. Ball is up to Josh Hart. Let's see what he does here. Luka could have ran up with that. Kind of had a wide open lane, but it is out to Luka. And a wide open Shaq, but of course Shaq is not going to hit the no three-pointer. Bridges screen set, wide open three-pointer, and he misses. Jason Tatum with a rebound up to Jaylen Brown. Guarded by Mikal Bridges, and he goes for the midi, but thankfully he goes on to miss that shot. We are still up by 12, 30 seconds remaining. Josh Hart to Shaquille O'Neal, Luka Doncic to Chet. And he was guarded by a much little Peyton Pritchard, and he gets the two-pointer. Let's go. This game is over. Pritchard, Jason Tatum, and Tatum goes on to miss three-pointer. We have won ourselves a championship. Let's go. And thankfully, we were able to see Shaq score some buckets. I would have hoped for him to score some more, but that is all right. And there you have it. The Los Angeles Lakers are your NBA champions. That is what I'm talking about. Shaquille O'Neal comes back to his team and wins them a championship. And there's Shaquille O'Neal being handed the trophy from Adam Silver. Let's go. That is a perfect way to end out this video, but I will be showing you guys the player stats for the playoffs here in a second. And Shaquille O'Neal also goes on to win Finals MVP. And just like that, the Los Angeles Lakers have won the championship with Shaquille O'Neal winning Finals MVP, averaging 33 points per game, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks, 1.5 steals while shooting nearly 70% from the field. Before I show you guys the playoff stats, let's take a look at Game 6 player stats. So Shaq had himself 41 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and 5 blocks. Luka dropped a 26-point double-double, 22 from Chet Holmgren. And then in the playoffs, we played a total of 20 games, and in those 20 games, our leading scorer was none other than Shaq, averaging 28 points, 11 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and 2.5 blocks per game. 26 and 11 from Luka, 20 and 10 from Chet Holmgren. And then in the NBA Finals, our leading scorer once again was Shaq, this time averaging 33 points per game and 11 rebounds. Luka was averaging 27 and 11, and then Chet was averaging 22 points and 9 rebounds. Almost 20 points per game from Mikal Bridges as well. I'm really happy we brought Chet Holmgren in to be our brand new starting power forward. I believe that helped out our defense a ton. Bro was averaging 3 blocks per game here in the NBA playoffs. That's going to be it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button and also subscribe if you're new for more NBA 2K26 rebuilds. And click here on the screen to watch my latest upload. Until next time, it's your boy Dragon, and I'm out. Peace.